What's goody? Lucky Lefty Podcast, the Onora Boys. We're here. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, and MALIK'S, where you can not only get Onora Whiskey, but you can get all your travel needs taken care of over the holiday season. Flights, hotels, vacation packages, whatever you need. MALIK'S.com. Left, I learned something about myself today
Okay.
that I did not know. Just actually had a discussion with my wife about it. Got a good laugh. I realized that I am more of a pie guy than a cake guy, love.
Okay. Okay.
I never knew that. If you had asked me before, I would have definitely said cake without question. Number one, because my favorite dessert is my mom's carrot cake. She makes it for me every Christmas.
Carrot cake.
Oh, my mom's carrot cake is absolutely man. The superlatives don't even give it the credit it deserves. But I'm only like a 3, maybe 4 cake man.
Okay.
It's carrot, lemon, chocolate, and red velvet, depending on the person making the red velvet.
I like red velvet donuts,
Okay.
but I get you.
Shout out to my G baby, my goddaughter. She has her own business. She's a fantastic baker. She makes me red velvet cookies for Thanksgiving. Phenomenal.
Now, technically, it's just chocolate, right?
And technically, chocolate, with some coloring and the
I
cookies
mean,
are
like
good.
the actual red velvet isn't an actual flavor,
No, no,
though.
no, no, no. See, that's why I said it depends upon the person making the red velvet, because
Mm.
sometimes chocolate can be bitter. And if you make the red velvet look too bitter, it kind of defeats the purpose of it looking like strawberry. You kind of want that sweetness to it. So I learned today that I'm a pie guy, bro. Dude, I rattled off at least 10 to 12 pies I love, bro. Just easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I just realized I'm a pie over cake guy.
No, I mean, hey, I definitely fluctuate. It just depends on who's making it for me in terms of the crust. I'm a pie crust guy, and sometimes for instance, apple pie, if the apples are too big, I'm not a fan of. I like more chopped apples in my apple pie, and it
Hmm.
has to have the nice consistency of uh, the paste with
Hmm.
the crust.
Shout out to our guy, Jason Smith. He said, I'm trying to hear that Twisted Tea harmony. As always, we don't see it be Nation presented by Twisted
It
Tea. Hey, hey, shout out to Drake and J. Cole on putting out some real hot. I'm not too much of a Drake fan, even though, dude, my daughter had to remind me. We were having a conversation, and she said, Daddy, when I was little, it's funny how you always talk about how disappointed you've been in Drake's last few projects. But when I was younger, you used to play Thank Me Later all the time. And I said, baby, his early stuff was fire. I said,
is fire.
I said the mixtapes, hey dude, the Show Me a Good Time joint, that was my joint. Oh, that was my joint.
Classics, classic
Uh,
R&B pop.
woo, that was my joint. And my other joint is views from the six, the Western Road Flows joint
With Mary
with
J.
with
Blige
the Mary
sample.
J sample. Yeah, that's my joint. Yeah. Like, what are those? Yo, your boys ain't even coming close. I'm like, yeah, okay. See, I like that flow Drake. That flow Drake, I can rock with.
That's his
All,
whole Scary Hours 3 was. That was nice.
all that singing it, man. Just do your thing, bro. Dude,
Y'all get mad at him for being an artist.
I'm not mad at him. I didn't say I was mad at him.
Maybe not you specifically.
It's
People
like
get mad at him for being an artist.
it's like Jay-Z's Kingdom Come. Jay-Z is like my dude. That's my dude. But that Kingdom Come, I'm like, come on, Jay. I don't know what vibe you on. I don't know what you're trying to do. You trying to be an artist and all that. Just no, just flow, dog. I don't.
Jay Z can't do it like Drake. Drake get pissed off and make something crazy in 5 days and give it back to you. He's like, yeah, I heard all the this ain't it. I'm falling off. He ended up making six for six like Jordan. Dropped it in 5 days and said, take that. Now everybody back on it.
Now, first of all, you need to relax. That dude ain't nothing like Mike. That's a little disrespectful. It's a little
You
disrespectful.
saw the music video with him and J. Cole.
I'm gonna say it again. He ain't Mike. That dude has gone to the championship and lost. Okay. Need I remind you he lost the Pusha T battle?
Oh,
I don't want to hear that. And don't act like he undefeated in these streets. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Drake already went over that and crushed that way long time ago.
Well, that's the way you feel. I'm just saying. When it was happening in real time, didn't go too well for the Canadian Canadian LL. You know, that's really what he is. The Canadian LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, first of all,
LL was the
LL Cool
first.
J could never make no songs like Drake.
I'm
In
about
terms
to,
of the
I'm
flow,
you know
the
what?
R and
You know
B,
what?
R&B,
You know
yeah.
what? You
Wait,
know what?
hold on. R&B, yes. LL Cool J was who he was, yes. R&B, yes.
The
R&B,
blueprint, the
yes.
blueprint for Drake was LL. He was the first ladies love R&B harmony. Dude, we
But Drake is so
battle
out of that
rap,
stratosphere, though.
battle rap. We want it just straight bars. Drake ain't even close. Ain't even close.
On straight bars?
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope.
When has anybody ever commended LL for having straight
No,
bars?
LL ended careers. Well, you ain't do. You ain't heard from Cassidy. You ain't heard from dude.
Wait, Cassidy? Yeah, we heard from Cassidy.
Say what?
You said Cassidy? Yes, we hear from Cassidy. You just battle rapping
No,
not too
no, no,
long.
no, no, not Cassidy. What was dude's? Dude, LL has ended careers. He's ended careers of legends. Like no more. No one wants to hear from you anymore.
Drake hasn't done that.
You miss. I said LL was the everything Drake has done. LL laid the blueprint, dog. And if people don't want to give him respect for who he is, this man was the first person in hip hop to refer to himself as the GOAT. The first. And if you really go listen to it, you go check out his discography and his impact on the game.
Drake has surpassed LL Cool J by milestones.
John Massey said Pusha T bullied a man into raising his son.
He did. Okay. He did.
Man, look, we're gonna give our prediction and get Malik's 3 keys, but it's Wake Forest, y'all. I mean, it really ain't too much to dig into. So let's have some fun tonight, man. If y'all want to, we're gonna do GTB. Get to the bag. If you have a get to the bag question, put it in there. Super chat is open. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. We missed super chats at the end of the show on Wednesday, and we promise not to do that again, man. that is pretty petty train work. I agree. I agree. He did bully that man. Like, no, you ain't gonna get off scot free, dude.
I mean, he mentioned it, but Drake done. If we talking careers, Drake's career is incomparable to anybody right now, from just hits and relevancy and just the man has outdone himself.
Thank you, Jay Henry. I was talking about cannabis. Cannabis was like supposed to be next. He's supposed to be next. That cat cannabis was supposed to be next. Had the flow, the voice, everything. LL just, and this is LL like 15 years in. This ain't like young LL. This is like LL 15 years in. Like, let me end this dude's career. Let me just end his career, dog. And that's exactly what he did. The dude never popped. He never popped. Because of that dude LL. I'm telling you, man. LL is like, hey, bro, that dude was the blueprint for a lot of these cats when it comes to like switching it up, implementing the slow jams.
Wait, Kanye was doing the sampling of older tracks first.
I didn't say sampling, bro. LL didn't really do samples, dude. This man was 16 and wrote "I Need Love," dog. You know how many weeks "I Need Love" was number one? This dude was a hardcore rapper talking about when I'm alone in my room, staring at the walls. What? Come on, man. Nobody was doing that in hip hop. Left. Nobody.
But what is somebody that's doing it in Drake's standpoint? Give me a comparable career right now to Drake. From a career standpoint, nobody.
It's different eras,
That's
bro.
all I'm saying. It's just like even now, who is gonna take the crown from Drake right now? Ain't nobody out there.
Mm,
That's why he got to keep dropping every couple months because ain't nobody making no music.
well, dude, I mean, that's what you're spitting on. You're pretty much dogging the current crop of artists. Like I
Yeah.
said, that has nothing to do with L.
When I'm alone in my room, still.
Bro, you have to understand, that was like the 80s, bro. Nobody was doing that. That dude has a whole generation of grandmamas and mamas that still love this dude
No, that's right. That's right.
to this day.
That's
Like
right. I believe
L
that.
L can still do big arenas, bro. All grandmamas and mamas to this day. That's bananas. And that's why I say, dude, from a career standpoint, he is comparable to Drake, dude. Especially what he's becoming like TV and
Comparable to
movies.
Drake.
What he's becoming TV and movies? Are you kidding me?
Oh
That
man.
dude, that dude was the GOAT in this arena, and then said, "I'm gone because y'all ain't even giving me no competition." And then went to TV and film and killed dude. Tell me, tell me, in too deep that cat God ain't one of the
No, 100%. That was a good role
dopest,
for him.
dopest villains of
Super
all
dope.
time.
Villains, yeah, for sure.
Man, that dude one of the coldest villains in the culture ever. Ever.
Next to the bald black dude in all the Tyler Perry movies. What's his name?
Oh, I forget his name. Oh, that's Wood Harris's brother.
Yeah.
Steve Harris. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's Wood Harris's brother.
He's a super villain in every movie for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. That cat, man, I had never seen anything like when that cat LL went downstairs and said, "This my man, you know, give me the pool stick."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
it's
him
my
right.
man.
Yeah.
Told that dude to love it. I said, "Oh my God."
Yeah. No, it was crazy. It was a good movie though, for sure. I
That's
love
did they shoot? I know it was Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, I think so. That was in uh Wynn Woods in the area.
Mm,
Now I'm trying to think, what's my guy's name? Man? Omar Epps, man. What a great actor that was,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Jay, you ain't a cop, Jay Reed. Ain't do nothing but love you, dog.
Yeah, straight up.
So what do you think about before we get into Notre Dame? You know, Michigan backs off. They don't want a lot of things to come to light and discovery. NCAA is still with the FBI investigating. Now they're like, oh, we'll take the 3 games. It's like, man, look, we told y'all that weeks ago. Like, shut up, take the 3 games, and let the Big Ten wipe their hands of it so you can move
Right.
into the new Big Ten next year. That's pretty much it. Malik's 3 keys. Brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. Key number one: show up.
Straight up, like put your name on the top of this page.
If Notre Dame shows up, shout out to my boy Double R, Ryan Roberts. If Notre Dame shows up, they'll win tomorrow. It's as simple as that.
It's that simple.
Okay? But left your 3 keys for
3
tomorrow.
keys. Sam Hartman's got a. Well, matter of fact, okay. First key. I want to see a special teams light up the scoreboard. I want to see our special teams make plays in many different aspects of the game. I want to see our special field goal kicker and punt make plays all game. That's what I want to see, because I think that third phase is something that needs to be critical for us when we head into bowl season, and that needs to just be sharpening our skills. So special teams, I'd love to see Coach Biaggi come alive. Maybe some pump blocks, field goal blocks, something to make an impact, because Marcus Freeman in field position, he's got to make up for that.
Chris Tyree owes us. I'll give you that. Marty Biaggi, for the most part, man, the special teams groups have improved throughout the season and gotten better. Garrett Schrader, more consistent as a place kicker. The punting game, missed tackles against Clemson, but most of the units have been steady and steadily improved. Like I said, Chris Tyree, he owes us. The kick return crews, they've been explosive. So I could see 1, maybe 2 special team impactful plays against Wake Forest left. I can see that.
Absolutely. And then the second one has definitely got to be offense has to hit 50. I think if we can do it, we did it versus Pitt, shows that we're capable, but we need to be able to do that against Wake Forest. Sam should have a lot of motivation to play well. I mean, it shouldn't be hard, his motivation to play well every game this year. So I think his moment that's valued to Notre Dame can be considered here, because, at this point in the season, you got to finish off in a good light for what Notre Dame was able to give you, you know what I mean? And I think you leading that charge by having the receivers get involved. If you got 5 touchdowns, 4 got to be the receivers. You see what I'm saying? So the point total of getting 50 or at least 49 is definitely, at 7 touchdowns, definitely got to get close to that.
So is this without help from special teams and defense?
As a team, but Sam, if we have 49, he should have at least 4 or 5 touchdowns.
You know what, left? I said this and I caught flack in the leftovers and post-show comments, because I said, man, I don't like Sam Hartman going out like this. I said it is what it is. It didn't work out. But I need him to have 2 good games to end his Notre Dame career.
That's right. Yeah, just give us a nice finale. I think Jack that's probably the most memorable thing about Jack, is that he gave us 2 final memorable showdowns. Even though we didn't win that bowl game, he played well enough for us to win,
I agree. And my hope is that he plays well in the next 2 games, and if he decides to play in the bowl game, that as well.
The last one, I think, would be just to stay healthy, and then however we can do that, because at this point it's about winning in style to get a good bowl game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I just want to see some youngsters tomorrow left. I'm going to keep it a buck. Like senior day, let the seniors play. Get them out of there by, middle of the 3rd quarter. And then, we're not going to have snow or anything memorable like that, but.
Yeah, it's no excuse. I mean, hey, this is just an opportunity that, I want to see Sam do well these last 2 games, because I know anything worse, play well in complement with Steve. Hopefully Steve is in the game plan for these next couple games, because he needs to be. I think if we're focused on the future and we're still, focused on winning, Steve has to play. Marcus Freeman has to put that on the top of his list of importance, because that is going to determine a lot going into bowl season and afterwards.
LL question of the day. Which senior are you going to miss the most? Which senior are you going to miss the most? LL question of the day. Try to give me one. I know you guys like to throw lists of people when we give you the question of the day. Try to give me one. Which senior are you going to miss the most?
Well, who's been most memorable, if we could consider it?
Um, Cam. Cam
Right,
Hart.
Cam would be the my only pick, I think. Not only pick, but Cam would be a huge pick for me just because, I think if you're thinking of seniors of which ones you would like to come back, Cam is one of the few I would say I would like to come back if he, were able to do that.
I don't think Cam can come back, but
Right, right, yeah. Like who would we need if was leaving this year for next year? I think Cam could be a nice piece that if he was able to come back, I think as a senior we would miss him more.
um, I believe Howard Cross has the ability. Him and Riley Mills both have the ability to come back.
Howard Cross would be great. I think just I think his development over the year. And what happened to Jason Onyé, man? I thought he was gonna pop on the scene a little bit more. Um, but nobody really stood as that pack leader in the D line room. Each had games that helped and contributed more than others, but just no true pack leader like we had with Fauski. But I think at the end of the day, it goes back to sacks do matter, Marcus Freeman, and I think in some of them games we could have used a few more. I think Ohio State we only had a couple. You know, Louisville we only had a few.
Hmm.
Clemson we only had one that I can remember. John Baptiste got that one, but just not enough in that area to make us intimidating. Not
Hmm.
only in the stat sheet, but just overall play. I think if you just not having enough impact in that category, and our defense is obviously top 10 or whatever it may be, but that would have just took us over the top, in my opinion.
Can I
And
read you
winning
a
games, and winning games, not just statistics.
Can I read you a tweet that connects to the conversation we had about Jared Parker saying when teams play man to man, it really doesn't benefit you to go play action.
That's right.
Can I read you a tweet?
Yep.
Dad Orlovsky, you know him as, color guy for college football on ESPN and
Mr. Out of Bounds.
NFL Live, Mr. Out of Bounds for the Detroit Lions as a quarterback. Absolutely. He tweeted out the top offenses in the NFL in all caps. All of them have plenty of one, pre and at the snap motion, two, personnel and formation flexibility, and three, heavy use of play action.
Period.
Yet teams think they can run offenses that don't have these elements and be successful. That's on coaching 100%.
Period. But for Jared Parker, who's inexperienced, I'm not surprised he doesn't know that. I'm not surprised he doesn't use more play action because he's still learning what he wants to do himself offensively. And I think the focus that he had going into the year about doing the things that we lacked the year before, play action wasn't one of those things I think he put on the list of importance, which at the end of the day, I think play action would have made Tobias a very, very good player for us because of the size of the player and the ability to have him one on one because safeties are just bolting up the field due to run.
Hmm.
I mean, just the limitless opportunities and how easy it is to call offense when you don't have to worry about everybody dropping eight or showing you different blitzes and this and that on third down because they're worried about stopping the run. And when you have great play action, it can come at any moment and you set teams up better having a use of play action. And I think that's where we really didn't find success, where I think Jared Parker had in his mind of opening up the pass game.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Shout out to Coach Michael Shrewsbury and the Fighting Irish getting a big win against Oklahoma State earlier today in overtime, 66-64. Marcus Burton with another 20 in the big win. They had a disappointing showing last night, but they rebounded. Tough team. I told you, Left. They're tough. Physically, you might get them rebounding, and they're gonna have to learn to play some really tight D, really good defense. But the young team, they're gonna get better as the season goes along.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that young dude. I like that young
I
dude.
mean,
Left,
they did get waxed by Auburn though.
they did.
They
They
did.
did get waxed.
I was just more like, dang, it was a bigger gap than what I would have assumed it would be because we're on a good little upward trend. I think as a
Hmm.
basketball program with Michael Shrewsbury, but maybe Auburn is just that deal this year. Who knows? I mean, they beat
Mm.
us like we stole some.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So before
But
we
wait,
switch,
but shout out to Dayton though, beating LSU, just putting Dayton on the map once again. And they was down 45-60 now, and finished winning like 67 or 70-65 or something like that.
I saw that. I watched that comeback. I also watched Missouri close on a 29-3 run at Minnesota
Ooh. Okay, that was
to
pretty
come
impressive.
back from a 20-point deficit. This was like with 7 minutes left in the game left.
Oh, they must have been just hitting everything. I mean,
Man,
it was
dude,
just crazy.
man. That was like one of the greatest choke jobs in college basketball I've seen in a long time. You up 20 with
Really.
like seven, dude. I was like, yeah, Minnesota's going to continue to be trash in the Big Ten. Left, I need help. Can you help me out, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, fans, Left, understand that I'm coming at this from the perspective of a Bears fan. Okay? Let me just put that disclaimer out there. Left, for 2 years, the top two prospects in the NFL draft have been Drake May and Caleb Williams. Have they not?
I mean, yeah, last year included.
Yeah. Yes. It's been like known that they're the top two picks for a while.
And
Is this
Drake
not
May's
true?
team is trash, and they still got him as top, as the Bears want him. And Drake May's team is trash right now, so they
See,
shouldn't.
see, see, you're trying to throw me an alley oop right there, love. Because I'm
But
trying
Drake
to
made
figure
that deal though.
I'm trying to figure out, and I know people will, have their thoughts. Why is it that when Caleb Williams plays a bad game a la Notre Dame or doesn't have like 5 touchdowns and 400 yards and only puts up like 282 with no interceptions and a rushing touchdown against Oregon? Like, why is it must see trash Caleb Williams time?
And I think some of that news is fake news too. He wants stock in the team, and
I,
you
I'm
know,
not. I'm not worried, dude. It's propaganda, and I'm worried about it, Left. Because every Caleb Williams average or mediocre game is like a 20,000 field arena with a rock band on stage.
that's right.
Oh my God! It's just Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. And every time Drake May plays like trash, it's a whisper.
It don't even they don't even put it
It,
on the news. They just say
dude,
North Carolina lost another close one. That's all they say.
that dude is 1-2 against Georgia Tech in his career, bro.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, bro, has losses to Virginia. Oh, I mean, dude, his last 3 games in the regular season last year were super mid, super mid.
I
Whisper.
mean, Drake May's struggling in the ACC, not the Pac-12 that's dominant this year. The ACC.
So what brought this about? And dude, Adam Johns, who I have a great relationship with, dude. Great Bears reporter, always accommodating with his time when I was a producer. Super cool dude. He came on a radio station here in Chicago and alluded to the fact that he felt like the Bears were leaning towards Drake May.
Yeah, I seen a couple reports.
Left, I'm sorry. I can't have another number 10 drafted over another quarterback from North Carolina and Chicago, Left. I can't go through that again, Left. I can't do it. My heart can't take it, Left.
But Drake May's not bad. He way more
I-
talented than Trubisky.
Yeah, Left. I just can't take that, bro. Dude, just pass
The
on the
Bears will do it
quarterback.
though. The
Just
Bears will
pass,
do it.
just pass on the quarterbacks and keep Justin. Don't take me through that, bro.
Just get Joe Alt and Marvin Harrison
Don't,
Jr. Call it a day.
John Massey, come on, man. It's 2023. Stop. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Game day is at James Madison. I don't want to hear that. It's 2023. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about USC being a national team and nobody cares about UNC. People care about Drake May. People only go to the
People
games
only
because
talk
of
about
Drake May.
UNC because of Drake May.
People only tune in because of Drake May.
That's right.
It's eyes all across the nation on Drake May every week.
Every week.
Every week.
And
That
every
dude
week they
plays
let
for
him
a
slide
legendary.
by every
He
week.
plays for a legendary Hall of Fame coach. I don't want to hear that.
That's right.
It's
Oh yeah, and he got a
2023.
good coach.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day where teams weren't televised and all of that. Nah, this dude is on national TV every week.
And losing a lot.
Every week. This dude lost to Virginia this year, dude.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing. Adam Johns was like, man, I went to the game. And this dude just made plays, play after play, with his arm and his legs to overtime to get the win over Duke. I'm like, Duke is on like their third string quarterback. They got like 5 starters out on defense, so it's not the same defense that Sam Hartman and Notre Dame face.
It's not.
I'm like, dude, I just watched this dude choke against Virginia in the fourth quarter, like 2 weeks ago. And the dude lost to Georgia Tech at home a week before that. Not a peep left. Not one negative article. Nothing. And now this propaganda is reaching Chicago, and we're going to have to get another number 10 from North Carolina. Yep. I'm not having it.
That's
left.
what y'all aiming for.
I'm not having it, dude. And this ain't about Caleb. This is about my Bears fandom. I can't take it.
Y'all are going to make that mistake.
I can't take this overhyped. Not overhyped, but I can't take this propaganda UNC quarterback that wears number 10. I can't do it, left. I can't do it. So if the Bears end up getting the second pick and they take them at number 2, I'm good. But if the Bears take him at number 1 and leave Caleb on the board, yep. Be like, yep, same thing we did to Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, bro. About to watch this team do the exact same thing. Yep. It's just amazing, man. I just felt like I had to bring that up from the perspective of my Bears fan.
The Bears have been wanting this move since the beginning. That's why all this negative Caleb press is coming forward, because it doesn't make sense. Drake May has had a worse season than Caleb.
Facts.
Period.
Facts.
I mean, I don't know the teams he's losing to, come on. Compared to the teams Caleb is losing to, come on. It's not right. It's only not right because they don't talk about it. How you don't talk about it? He's the number 2 quarterback in the draft this year from last year. It's 2 of them, and they stayed the same the whole year, and you only talk about 1 of them. I've never heard of that before.
Man, look. Somebody said Caleb is arguably not a good pocket passer. Neither is Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah. Josh Allen ain't getting fired.
No.
No time soon.
No. That dude was he's the next greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, Josh Allen got years left.
In
Ken
the
Dorsey, they fired
world.
Ken Dorsey like it was nothing.
They still say Lamar Jackson is not a good pocket passer. I saw him light up Cincinnati last night. My fault, left. I just,
No, I mean, hey, they ain't got Joe Beasley. He's going through injury bugs right now, but Lamar's the man. That's my favorite quarterback.
that's all I'm saying, man. It's 2023, man. Stop all this. Oh, my quarterback has to be a great pocket passer. Like, no, he doesn't.
No,
Especially
he
not in
doesn't. Look
college
at Jalen
football.
Hurts. Jalen Hurts walked his way to the championship, and he's
Man,
still not the best passer.
no, at
Not
all.
even top 10 in terms of just pure like, man, that brother can just purely just pass. He's not even top 10, and he went to the Super Bowl last year. So come on.
Yeah, right. John Massey, that's a great point. Lamar throws interception. He can't read defense. If Josh Allen throws interceptions, he's a gunslinger. I won't even say it's a race issue. That's just a media issue. And the narratives they choose to paint. Like I said, that's why I'm scared with the Bears, because it's propaganda. I'm not about to bring up race at all. It's just propaganda. People obsess over who they want to obsess over.
That's
Period.
it.
Just
That's
in
it.
life. People obsess over what they want to obsess over. Drake May might be a little bit more boring. He might not get you the clicks that Caleb Williams gets if you talk about his bad games. But he definitely has more bad games than Caleb this year.
This year and last year. Hell, Caleb won the Heisman last year. Drake May wasn't even in the room yet. So what are we talking about?
That's from a Bears fan perspective. We've been through this, left. We
Yeah.
still do. We passed on Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, bro.
The most egregious mistakes you could probably
For
make.
for Mitchell Trubisky, man.
Now he's backing up to Kenny Pickett. He's still around, but still.
Dude, I I can't go through this again. And I understand that Drake May is probably a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky, but no, man. I can't have Notre Dame struggle at quarterback and then have the Bears do that to me all in one year. That's a tragedy. Lucky Lefty podcast. We come back, left. We'll give predictions. You already know Les said they got to score 50, so I expect his prediction to be crazy. The Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. We're back, Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Let me cheer myself up, man. I forgot how bad it is to be a Bears fan, bro. But it's great to be a Notre Dame fan, despite the disappointment. Despite the disappointment with Sam Hartman, they'll face Wake Forest, his former team, tomorrow.
I mean, the disappointment, we could talk about that because what's the disappointment?
He came
We
here.
expected him to play beyond his talent,
No, we
hoping
expected.
that the talent around him can get him over the hump. He could be somewhat of like the steady rock in the river.
Man,
He ended up just going with the flow.
bro. Our game predictions are brought to you by Nora Whiskey, man.
What they say,
Left.
Sam Hartman to the Bears.
Yeah, the chat is really messing with me tonight, man. Y'all don't have to do me like that, man.
Yes, Sam Hartman gets 6 pick to the Bears, hangs on the roster, ends up starting week 8.
Left. I don't want left. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want either one of them. I don't. I don't.
He said neither one of them.
Yo, these blueberry Belvita crackers, they're pretty good. Pretty good. No, left. Do you understand what the Bears could get if they traded that number one pick, stayed in the top 5, and were able to grab Marvin Harrison Jr. and Joe Alt? and then get somebody's number one overall pick for the next draft and end up with two more first round picks? Come on.
Wait,
I'm
how
talking
many?
about,
How many can you get? 3?
I'm just saying if somebody trades for the number one pick, they have to give up their pick this year. They have to give up their pick next year. I mean, come on, man. You can control the draft. The Bears could possibly control the NFL draft for 3 consecutive years. That's insane. That's insane. I would rather do that than to have Drake May.
Drake May might be a better rendition of 10 though.
Left. I don't know, man. I'm cool with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Joe Alt. I really am. I'm cool.
They're not cool with Justin Fields though.
Well, we know that.
So
We can
y'all need
tell
to
that by
trade
the
him.
idiot. We can tell that by the idiots they hire to work with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Before we get into the predictions, no, do your predictions, love, and then I'll tell you that something else I found out about myself today.
I got Notre Dame with a
Not resounding.
resounding 56-10. It should be a,
Mm.
a walk off by the third quarter, and Steve Angeli's gonna bring up the rear with a couple touchdowns.
You got a couple of pick sixes, special teams. You got it just being an all around bludgeoning by the Fighting Irish.
Defensively, I'm not worried. I know we're gonna present enough things that Wake Forest probably has to focus on, which is gonna be a low scoring total. I don't think they have 25 plus points in the tank for us, but
Hmm.
I do believe that Jared Parker should be more motivated to do a little bit more.
Hmm. Well, left. Oh, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm taking the Bears 41, Wake Forest 3. I'm not with you.
41, why 41?
You know, that's a nice figure I chose to pick. Nice figure I chose to pick. 41. I don't think they get to 50.
We got the 50 versus Pitt, and Pitt beat Louisville, and Wake Forest is who? I think Wake Forest is in the category with Pitt.
Wake Forest beat Pitt. I'm just saying. Wake Forest beat Pitt. Mhm. We had somebody in the chat say you don't take uh, wide receivers that high. Let me introduce you to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. If you're a dude, you're a dude. I'm not falling into the trappings of, well, you don't take a wide receiver that high. The hell you don't. Ask Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins whether or not they love their teams taking wide receivers high in the draft. I don't care nothing about expectations. It's expectations for Justin Jefferson. He's just fine. Expectations for Jamar Chase. He's been just fine. If you're a dude, you're a dude. That's any position. Like I don't believe in that. Don't take a cornerback super high. Don't take. I do. If you're a dude, you're a dude. Period. People had a problem with my. Remember, people had a problem with Miles Garrett going where he
Oh
went.
yeah, Miles Garrett's a legend,
That dude is a beast.
a beast.
Like
Still,
what are we talking about?
still a beast. 85 sacks in 100 games. Come on now. Come on now. 85.
Yeah, bro.
He's fifth on the list.
And look, Patrick Galvin said Lions game. Lions gonna dog the Bears this weekend. I hope they do. Better draft pick. Like that, you not hurting my heart with anything about the Bears this season. I'm all for it. I'm trying to get the number 1 and number 3 draft pick, baby. I'm trying to load up. Man, dog walkers. Hey, Justin is out of here anyway. Smack him around too at this point.
It's messed up, man. He just needs a little bit more accuracy.
NC Notre Dame fan. I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Is that something that's still prevalent in the Washington fan base, that people still refer to the old nickname rather than the Commanders? I just want to know.
The Commanders is a nice replacement, though, I guess.
You think so?
Over the Redskins, I think the Commanders sound pretty hard.
Now I know about the the sensibility, the racial, prejudices, and
you just talking about the name.
He said yes, sir. He said yes, sir. I was wondering how it was holding up with the fan base. I was wondering how it was holding up. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because I'm gonna tell you now, man. Like when I was a shorty, and they used to like, man, the Skins. I'm like, yo, that's dope. That's like a dope little short. I used to call them the Skins. I'm like, man, that's a short little, And then you get older. Did I tell you the story about my first sweater when I was a freshman at U of I?
No.
So the Fighting Illini is like this famous Indian tribe from downstate in Illinois. And they made a deal with the University of Illinois to be represented. They also allow Illinois to have a likeness of their chief and his head guard as the mascot. And he used to perform at halftime of the football games and the basketball games. And literally, as soon as I got down there in the 90s, it was this, man, they were having like protests, sit-ins, marches, saying ban the chief, ban the chief. And this girl walked up to me and I had the chief logo on one of my champion hoodies. She walked up to me, saw me walking, and walked up to me and tried to put an X with a black marker through my logo.
No way.
That was the first time I almost assaulted a young lady, bro.
No way.
And I would have been dead wrong for doing it, but she almost got it that day. Bro.
No way, Sean. She really ran up to you and tried to mark it out.
My $120 champion sweater, bro.
Yeah, we would have had some words, man.
Yeah. I grabbed her hands and said, man, what the you doing?
Yeah.
And she went into the whole spiel, and I said, why didn't you just walk up to me and talk to me about
it? Yeah, they,
Like, what are you doing?
Because common sense don't make sense.
Oh, that's interesting. NC Notre Dame fans said there's a tribe trying to get them to change the name back to Redskins. I think, honestly, I think the whole thing was made worse because of who the owner was. Right? And how defiant he was in the process and all the other stuff he had going on. Right? Because, I mean, that cat Daniel Snyder was basically running a brothel in the NFL, dude. It was crazy.
A brothel? I know he was hiring the best looking cheerleaders or something like that, right?
No, bro, him and his executives within the if I'm not mistaken, bro, there was some stuff going on, bro. Like during games, after games, like the stories were like crazy. The reason I know because one of my good friends was actually out in DC at radio when everything was really hitting the fan. He was like, yo, This is crazy. This cat Daniel Snyder is buck. Wow.
He was on his Diddy freak offs.
Mm, crazy, man. But I was wondering, whether or not the fan base was like bucking against the Commanders nickname or still like rocking like the Redskins, like jerseys, jackets, t-shirts, and all of that stuff. I definitely wondered about that. Thank you guys for all of the comments you put in. You guys are going to miss JD. You guys are going to miss Cam Hart, Howard Cross. Um, I have love for DJ Brown too, left.
Yeah, he's a commanding player that makes you talk about him.
I have love for anybody that plays to the best of their ability, bro.
That's right.
That's all you can ask anybody. Give me your best. Give me your best. And if it's not good enough, then we're gonna have to live with that. But
That's
DJ
why I said
Brown.
I wasn't. But that's why I said I wasn't disappointed in Sam.
Hmm.
I was more disappointed in us not supporting Sam for using what he does best.
And what is that? Because we had Big Bro on the other day, and he said most people look at Sam Hartman and don't understand that he's not a quarterback that can make all the requisite throws.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Hartman is a system specific type of guy who's made his money from being comfortable in what he's been doing for a long time. And my idea of what bringing a guy like that would mean is to do what he does best and upgrade him with better players. If you get him to run a whole new offense or one that you feel like is similar, it's he doesn't have the talent to make that the same level as
Hmm.
what he's comfortable with for the last 4 years. And for Jared Parker to tell everybody he's gonna run last year's stuff with a guy that hasn't been there before already doesn't bode well for great chemistry. But then when you're not integrating more of the what he does well, then you take away the fact that now his talent has to prove that it's beneficial to the team and it's just not good enough based on what we were asking him to do. Now, if this was next year, Sam could thrive with the schedule that we have for next year.
Hmm.
But this year was heavy loaded due to this circumstance, which not many people are capable,
Hmm.
let alone able to play at the level needed to get us through the schedule we had. So it's not necessarily Sam's fault. He just had a greater challenge than what his talent was able to show. And we didn't support that through what we were able to put around him successfully. So there's a lot of things where Sam wasn't comfortable
Hmm.
because he's looking at it like, y'all asking me to do some stuff that I'm running for the first time. And then you
Hmm.
talking with a bunch of kids that ain't got enough playing experience. So we can't fake this. We can't fake it. We can't rely on just game experience to overcome some of these pitfalls or close games that we have. And I'm just getting here. So this ain't the well-oiled machine that Alabama is, where you can just go down there and then start calling plays and they eventually get better as the season gets on. We're a team that you gotta have is quarterback led, so you have
Hmm.
to have the quarterback be comfortable. And anytime any of us play well is when we were comfortable. Deshaun wasn't comfortable in 2016, so no matter how hard he tried, it didn't work well. In 15, he was comfortable because he didn't have to do nothing. You just step in there, don't turn the ball over. 16 come around, all right, the offense is back on the quarterback making it happen. It's hard to do. But you look at the career he had after that,
Right.
it's like, damn, it's no surprise. It's hard for people to do if you just aren't that dude. You know what I mean? It's just
Hmm.
Notre Dame's for what the expectation has been set for how we were able to get into the playoffs. It's only 3% of quarterbacks that can successfully do that in college football. I mean, if we didn't take Sam, who would have been the next best choice?
Mm-hmm.
That could have did better. Shit, that's the question. Who's the next best choice that could have did better than what Sam was able to give us? It's not no too many I can think of. Jaden Daniels, we lost him to
Hey,
Brian Kelly.
you actually wanted Jaden Daniels 2 years ago in
Of
the
course.
portal.
And I told you what happened with Jaden Daniels
Mm-hmm.
and his family and all that. So other than that, there's nobody else in college football outside of like Caleb, maybe Drake May, maybe. I have a high confidence in Jaden Daniels' ability to do what our offense asks. Jordan Travis, just thinking the dude's available, Jordan Travis wasn't available, but
Yeah, right.
just the 3%. So I
Yeah,
do think that,
it is a tricky proposition when you talk about this portal thing, man.
and it's specific to us. It's a different sort of measurement stick that we're using. We're
Yeah.
not even taking guys based on talent. We're taking guys based on a boatload of other factors that doesn't necessarily make you a good football.
Mm,
And then finding your quarterback, a lot of it, especially for what we need, has got to be talent,
mm,
like a Deuce Knight. Whereas
mm.
talent is first, all that other stuff, if we can match it up, great.
Yeah,
If we match it up, great. But right now, the talent is the most important thing we need.
yeah,
Because right now, what are we lacking from the quarterback position? Talent. Talent.
yeah.
We got the smarts. Remember, we got the smartest dude and the brightest crayon in the crayon box. We got that in Sam. We got the experience in Sam. We got the poise in Sam. We got the 50 games played in his career. We got the 12,000 been there, done that yards. We got the made receivers from nothing to something. We got all of what we were looking for, except talent. And talent is the difference in why we didn't win these games.
Mm.
Period. Because when it was time to call on Sam for these specific plays that individually he could have changed the outcome of a lot of situations, it didn't show. Clemson was an obvious example of where talent lacked for him, where when we weren't firing on other parts of the game, he's got to be able to play and without excuse and play better. I felt there was opportunities for him to and drive specifically where he could have finished stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's nitpicking a little bit, but still the urgency that he didn't have to me, because every time I seen him, he just staring into space on the sideline.
So I don't know if you saw this, left. In other quarterback news in Notre Dame, it was reported by another Notre Dame outlet that CJ Carr is petitioning to be allowed to enroll at Notre Dame in December so he can take part in bowl preparation practices to speed up his development and process.
I mean, look, all
What do
that
you
is
think
great.
about that? I was
All
about to
that's
say
great.
left.
No,
Left is like, man, whatever.
no, yeah, come on in, but the impact is gonna show when you get in that game.
Hmm.
Practice, look, we already heard from Marcus Freeman. He ain't playing nobody till they practice perfect. We already heard all that. Your judgment is gonna come when you get in that game. So whatever you gotta do to get there in your way, do it. I mean, obviously it's exciting that you want to come early,
Hmm.
but I mean, listen, if you coming in to just sit and learn, that ain't doing nothing for us. What is Civiliano say? I'm coming in to take spots.
Hmm.
Now I'm expecting to see something. If you just saying I'm coming in because I want to learn and start processing information, then stay in school and they'll send you an email. You can start
Hmm.
reading stuff at home. But if you come in here, it needs to be an urgency that you trying to help this team win. Don't come in here being like, yeah, I just want to soak up everything I can. And listen, we need guys ready to go. And the closer we get to that, the closer I think we can see the talent come to another level. Because I don't think CJ's the freaking nature, talented, super nice quarterback either. I think he's just a very polished guy that he's not gonna get much better. I think he is who he is. He's not gonna increase his arm strength, or he's pretty accurate right now. Got some good fundamentals. His whole thing is his decision making consistent or not?
Mm.
But from a talent level, I mean, he is what he is. He's no Patrick Mahomes or new generation athletic style quarterback. None of those. He's just a quarterback that has good technique, that is unproven in a decision making process when the game is in reach. Can he go out there and throw a couple passes? Sure. But we're looking for guys that can be the needle mover in that position. Because that's what it takes. We don't need another guy that can just call the plays. We got that in Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Jack Cohn, I'm a big fan of Jack Cohn the later the years go by.
Man, me too.
Because that brother just went in there and was like, look, I'm playing like this is my last game. And I can just remember moments in the season where I'm like, man, that brother Jack just said, I'm going to try something. I ain't letting us lose.
Yo, what was that? The Toledo game with the thumb?
Toledo game with the thumb.
Kyron Williams, the 2-point conversion against Virginia Tech. He just threw that bad fella up, bro. He just threw it up.
All ball splitting time. Florida State game. When he went out there acting like, oh, this man going to the Heisman. He had like 5 touchdowns that game.
Yeah, jumping it off. Yeah.
Has Sam ever had 5 touchdowns in a game? No, I don't think so. Jack's first game and Jack's last
Notre Dame.
Jack's first game and Jack's last game were impressive to me. First game he had 5 touchdowns. Clowning. That tells me that he stayed consistent the entire year, and on top of that was splitting time with packages. So he already had it and didn't complain. Went in there. Anytime he got the chance, he come back in. Still, he wasn't inaccurate to the point where you're like, man, we knew where he was.
And let me ask you a question. If we do go to the portal, should we look towards somebody? But because the Wisconsin system is very similar to the Notre Dame system. It was tight end centric, run the ball first. And maybe it was an easier transition for Jack Cohn than, say, Sam Hartman because of that reason.
The problem is we thought Sam Hartman was a better talent, not a better fit. We thought we saw them numbers and was like, 12,000 yards, that'll help. We didn't go, does Sam fit in what we do? Because if we looked at it from that perspective, no, he doesn't fit. He runs a whole Garrett Grayson, Coastal Carolina, slow mesh type of system where everything's based off of that. We're under center, we're rolling now, we play action, we shotgun, reading, we got everything. We run the ball under center. We got to do handoffs. Sam ain't even taking no handoffs under center before. We got him doing that. So, no, we didn't bring a fit. We brought what we believe to be better talent, which didn't work out because it wasn't that great a talent when in a vacuum. Because like I said, who's taking Sam over any quarterback dating from 2015 or 2012? Hell, I'll take Tommy over Sam. Okay, the only person would be Hendricks, but I love Hendricks. There's nothing against Hendricks.
Andrew was cool.
I would take Sam over Hendricks. Other than that, I wouldn't take Sam over any quarterback in the Brian Kelly era. I mean, who would you take over?
But as far as for Notre Dame?
Maybe Brendan Clark?
No, bro. I've been on record. I told you, I'll take you, Eb, Deshaun.
No, I'm saying, who would you take Sam over? The only person I would say is Hendricks, and that's even close for me. Because Hendricks has some talent, he just didn't know how to put it together.
Mm.
I can't think of one.
Maybe Phil.
But Phil got hurt, so I don't even count
Yeah,
Phil.
Phil. Because Phil's first year at BC, Phil put up numbers.
Yeah, he just injury prone.
He
So
put up numbers, and then all of a sudden the injuries just caught up with him.
it feels a better talent and bigger than Sam anyway. So I don't, if we just doing just eye tests, I wouldn't pick Sam over Phil. Hell, Phil
Mm-hmm.
was the number one quarterback coming out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
out of Sean Crawford's area. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what we expected other than more attention to how we can support this kid coming in. But then it goes back to Tommy. It was a Tommy specific hire where Tommy abandoned the hire. And so now we left with something that, we don't see the same value in. And it shows because we didn't cater to Sam all season. When did we cater the offense to Sam where we like, man, Sam gonna run us? Never. The
Whoa, that
game
cat,
is
man. His first year at BC, he played 10 games because he got injured at the end of that season. Completed 61% of his passes for 2,581 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
pretty solid.
Hey,
For Boston
I'm,
College, I
I'm
mean,
sure
come on.
Boston College probably thought they had one.
They thought they had one. That's why he stayed there
Yeah.
for like 2 extra years, and that's just going back to, has Sam given you that feel that, man, we could win, we can't win without him? No, no,
Mm,
no, it hasn't. It hasn't been like that. I think he has been given more opportunities than I think a lot of people, to be honest,
mm-hmm,
in terms
mm-hmm,
of having the decks cleared for you and it being signed, sealed, delivered essentially. I mean, Marcus Freeman put his whole organization in your hands based off of conversations he had with the quarterbacks in season last year.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much more, because Brian Kelly would never do that. I'm tell you what, one thing Kelly wouldn't do in that sign, seal, deliver the position like that. Well, I'm lying. He did what they have. 2015, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely lying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a huge mistake for him. And Marcus Freeman, he's a football player. And I think sometimes he didn't get a chance to really put his hands on Sam's necessary recruitment. But Marcus Freeman should know, looking at Sam, that I could probably tackle you right now.
I mean, Coach Freeman is
I
in
mean,
good shape now. He is in
I
pretty
mean,
good shape.
Marcus Freeman being a football player first.
Yep.
Would
He
you
couldn't.
fear
He
Sam
could.
on
He
the
could.
field?
He couldn't tackle Juice Williams though. But I'll digress.
Hey, I'm taking Juice over Sam all day. That's one of my favorite quarterbacks. What are you talking about? Of course, Juice Williams, a legend, a legend. But Marcus Freeman being a football player first can have that football eye.
Mm-hmm.
Is Marcus Freeman? Are you afraid of Sam Hartman if you had to play him on the field against you? Come on, man. Come on, Marcus Freeman. You would probably be like, man, I would have blitzed the heck out of Sam. But only Marcus Freeman can have an evaluation like that because he played. Don't get caught up in this recruiting coach transfer portal type of world. Marcus Freeman, be a football player that can evaluate football players as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what looked good for your program. You knew you wouldn't be taking no Jared Parker as your OC and Sam as your quarterback. And that's why you went up there and was like, this may not be the way I want it, but this is going to be helpful for the guys that are still here. I remember you said that. I remember, Marcus Freeman. Because you know from your own eye test as a former player that ain't going to get over the hump. So, on one hand, it's hard. It's a hard challenge we asked of Sam. And I think more unrealistic expectations came from it because of what we saw on paper. But from the eye test, he's no different than guys we get from the middle of Massachusetts. to play
Mm-hmm.
quarterback. What's the difference? What's the difference? We didn't get a guy that came in that was like, man, he's super fast. Man, his arm is unbelievable. Man, his playmaking is next level. We got a guy that has attrition, that has mileage. It was like getting not a Ferrari, but like a nice Buick. The new Buicks look nice, but it's just a Buick. We didn't go and get that new Mercedes AMG that just we didn't do that. We went to the transfer portal and got a nice Buick. That's all we got. That Buick is 30. It ain't gonna win you no races, but it's gonna get you to a finish line. Marcus Freeman gotta go get him a sports car. And he did, Deuce Knight. I think CJ is more of a like I said, I think CJ has hit his potential with us already. I don't see how he can get much better other than just being a better decision maker. But from a talent standpoint, he got all the technique and all that. It's just a matter of can he win games? And I think his thing is going to be, which I think he understands himself, is he's trying to recruit players that make him look good, which is smart. Be at Notre Dame every weekend trying to recruit guys because you know you're going to need. Dudes don't necessarily do that. Caleb didn't go to Oklahoma because a bunch of receivers were signing up. They came to him. USC's recruiting exploded because of Caleb. He didn't go because he's like, man, USC got X, Y, Z receiver. No. So I commend CJ for knowing his strengths and weaknesses, in my opinion. He know he ain't going to win by himself. He don't have the talent. But if he can get the 5-star receivers to be on the outside, it'll make him look way better. That's why he been recruiting so hard, in my opinion. He know the secret. He got family that know how football work.
Yeah.
So as opposed to Kenny like, I see the challenge, which I can appreciate about Kenny. Kenny like, man, y'all ain't doing it right. Put me in there. That's the that's what I get. To me, Kenny like, y'all playing with the money up there. Y'all playing with the money. Go ahead, let me get that spot and let me show you what you can do with this. That's what I take from Kenny. From CJ like, look, I ain't gonna be ish if I don't get the 5-star around me. So I gotta go recruit. Let me go recruit. Let me go put the work in. And then when I get that talent, you're gonna see how I support them and make them look better because they gonna be stars on their own. You know. Which is smart. So from a ideal standpoint, and then you throw in Deuce Knight, who's just a dude, raw talent, maybe more talented than the other two. That's about cultivating. That's where development happens. That's where Gino Gaduli is like, this is my baby right here. I'm going to grow that. Because that talent is untapped. We don't know how far that can go. But I feel like we know how far the other two can. So we'll see what happens.
Lucky Lefty Pop. Oh my God. This cat Trey Young just made somebody fall on their face. Woo-wee. And the Bulls are officially done. 33 points at halftime, bro. Let me tell you something, man. All you Notre Dame fans that are frustrated, man, thank God you're not a Chicago sports fan. Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's watch some film right quick, man, before we get out of here.
Let's do
I'm
it.
excited for this young man to be part of the Fighting Irish. He is the son of Hall of Famer and Notre Dame great defensive lineman Bryant Young from Charlotte, North Carolina. And this kid is absolutely fantastic. His length, his size, the speed he brings at the big end, the power, relentlessness.
But one thing you can count on, and what I feel like is a proven thing ever since I saw Corey Robinson, was that if your dad was that dude, it is trickled down to you in some way. And it's just a matter of identifying it or not. I think he has the motor and the size of a guy that I feel like is going to be an instant impact. He doesn't look like Bambi out there. He look like he know what he got going on. And I think a lot of that is because of his dad. You know what I mean? So the type of athleticism that he plays with, I think is a controlled athleticism that he knows himself, as opposed to guys that are just freaking natures that just be out there doing it. I think he has taken all the steps to be a football player that can be developed, but also can be playable early on. I think a lot of that is his dad, genetics and everything, but also a kid that looks like he wants to make a name for himself.
Mm.
And I just love the fact that, you know, he looks different. And he makes plays that you can be like, that looks like something on Saturday. He ain't making plays where it's like he's the best player on the field by far. I mean, and you know, you get some of that. But plays where you like, okay, that's something that looks transferable. So he has a lot of transferable type of plays that he makes on film that I think is going to make a lot of sense at the next level. And he's big, you know, just big as a mass and size, not just a big kid. He looked big and filled out, you know, like he been training, not like he just a freak of nature, you know what I mean? So hopefully Marcus Freeman can in turn use that as a means of not only starting that legacy thing, but also just knowing that you got a easy 5-star in your back pocket. I'm sorry, not 5-star, but easy pick in your back pocket because of who his dad is, and you know that you can seal the deal on bringing that to Notre Dame. These are one of these you cannot mess this up type of thing.
It's funny because the NFL pedigree, and kind of break this down for the fans left that might not understand why the game might be easier and the transition and the skill set might be more transferable for an NFL pedigree guy like Bryce Young, because Notre Dame is benefiting from that. It's arguably the top two players on Notre Dame's team are NFL pedigree with Joe Alt and Benjamin Morris.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of it is the same as a kid. If you have two parents that are doctors, and every day you live with them,
Mm-hmm.
they not
Mm.
necessarily teaching you how to be a doctor, but you around it your whole life. So when it comes time, you become a doctor, the road is a lot easier just naturally. Not saying you the smartest thing in the world, not saying that they hounding you to do it. I'm sure they pushing you in some ways. But the fact that it's been on both your parents as doctors and you've been in the same household forever, you're going to have an affinity in some sort to being a doctor that knows what's going on. So even when you get that MCAT, yeah, it's hard for you too, but it's just a little easier at the same time. Or you get to med school. Yeah, you're not going into something unknown. Your parents both went through it. Now, whether you know, actualize it or not, obviously is a whole different thing. But
Mm-hmm.
even the kids that have been around it, they just know stuff. You know what I mean? You ever been around a kid that just be knowing, he just know and is comfortable with stuff that he may not even been around yet personally, but his family does it as a family business. So it just is like, oh yeah, well naturally. So same thing for NFL players. Not every NFL player's kid happen or actualizes into just a repeat process.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, Brian Young was the number one pick, something crazy, first round. And the type of guy he is, you know that his kid gonna be something like it. He ain't maybe be exactly like it, but he gonna have that makeup of a professional athlete. just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into college settings, he's not going to feel the most uncomfortable out of the rest of his peers because his dad be like, yo, just do this and be aware of this. And maybe that's not the relationship, but I'm sure somewhere in his conscious and genetics, especially if he's playing at a high level in high school. So it means he's motivated. It's not like he just getting graduated because of his name. You can tell that he's going to listen and do the things his dad probably tells him. And that's just an easy, nice comfort to have. He don't got to go to Al Washington. I mean, he going to listen to Al Washington, but Al Washington ain't going to tell him what his dad going to tell him. I'll tell you that. In terms of getting sacks.
He said in terms of getting sacks.
in terms of making plays, I
said
guarantee
Brian Young is not going to tell him, hey, man, sacks don't matter, man. Just get pressure.
Oh, hell no. What? Brian Young going to be like, this how you, if you want to be me, this is what I did to get there. This is what became important for me to do. And yeah, listen to your coaches, but when you on that field, use that double hand swipe I told you. You know what I mean? Like, study your opponent this way. I mean, come on. That's, if I had an NFL dad, I promise you I would be there right now in some capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the advantage you got to take as an athlete, son. I mean, nepotism is a huge thing too, not only in entertainment, but in sports.
Yeah.
But for good reason. So, yeah,
yo, Notre Dame will have another NFL pedigree. Ivan Taylor, safety from Florida, will be at the game tomorrow. And he's been in Notre Dame multiple visits. He is the son of Ike Taylor, former defensive back for the Pittsburgh
Steelers. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we just look. Give me 5 guys on the team with legacy, and I guarantee you we will have a better team overall. Because think about it, it's just human nature. If I got to coach a kid from scratch, first in his generation, first to play football in his family, how hard it would be if he's not an ultra super next level type of player. He's good, but the pattern of success is a lot less probable.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Torrey Hunter Jr. Just made for playing in some capacity.
Yeah.
And having transferable skills. He's really a baseball player, but went to college for football and with the right opportunity probably could have been a really good football player.
Yeah.
I mean, he had all this. He was fast, faster than any receiver we got right now. In terms of just football fast, a good target, you know. Corey Robinson didn't even take football as serious as most people, and was still a better football player because he's just his dad is David Robinson. I don't know. I just think that's just how it works. Like, just David Robinson and shoulder pads. It's just you was doing the same things your dad was doing on the court, just on the field, just being bigger and stronger and doing freaky things that, you know what I mean?
Just catching oops over the heads of defensive backs.
And it's so funny because watching Corey play basketball, he's so modest, but he can really play, which is even great. Like, he'll never play serious, but if you watch him like just play around, this brother can play. I'm talking about jam, like his daddy. Like Corey should have and could have played on that Notre Dame basketball team while he was there. He was just too busy wanting to be class president and, humanitarian of the year and all that. But Corey's basketball game was top notch. I mean, the brother could dunk like it's nothing, Sean. Shoot. He got post moves. And you got to beg him to play. Isn't that crazy? You got to beg Corey to play. He just go out there. He the type the ball go out of bounds and roll to his side of the court. He the type to just shoot it from half court, make it. Some shit like, just something like that. Like, here's your ball back. Just shoot from full court and make it or something crazy,
That's crazy.
Corey is the most interesting team I'd ever played with, for sure.
Yeah. And don't forget, Jim Flanagan's son committed to Notre Dame. Jim Flanagan was a long-time veteran, especially with the Bears. He played I want to say 5 seasons with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
after starring at Notre
Look at
Dame.
Dylan Raiola, the #1 quarterback in the country this year. His dad blocked for John Kitna for
John
Auburn.
Kitna, you
So,
know. And then
duh.
Notre Dame has, don't forget, Kennedy Urlacher will be
See,
coming in this year.
see, he's the same vision of what Antoine Winfield was and his son. His son was a 3-star at Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But look at his son now, damn near all
Mm-hmm.
pro, good
Mm-hmm.
veteran player for the Bucks. That's the type, and it's like he didn't need a bunch of
Super
accolades
Bowl
going in.
champion for the Bucks. That Super Bowl champion.
That's right, and it started as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just in his genes, Patrick Surtain, the best corner in the league right now.
Yeah.
His dad is an NFL vet. Of course, it makes sense. It makes sense. These guys have better roadmaps to success in this area than people that don't have the roadmap before. It's just that simple. And your path just seems much more clear. Like you just know what to avoid, what to not avoid. And it's stuff that guys who hasn't made it can't tell you.
Yeah.
Especially with no love, because
Yeah.
these just parents now. Marcus Freeman love you, but he ain't gonna tell you the secret to everything.
Yeah.
Even if he wants to, he probably doesn't know how to disseminate it like he would if it was his son in wrestling. That's why he loved talking about that in press conferences. You know what I mean?
Lucky podcast, man. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. My prediction was 41-3. Left had it 50. What did you say again, Left? Was it 54? I think Left said 54-7, didn't he? You were real disrespectful.
56 is 10.
56-10. 56-10. 56-10. Well, either way, Notre Dame covers the spread. So if you want to just take Notre Dame on the money line and play it safe,
That's right.
and do that. But other than that, hey man. Hey. Dope. Thank you guys for tapping in on a Friday night. Left, you know what I realized?
What?
For some reason I said, you know what, I'm gonna play a game of Madden with the Chicago Bears. This Bears team might be the worst Bears team ever on a Madden, bro.
You just gotta know how to use them, man.
No, my brother, no. Because I don't know if you do this. Do you switch playbooks? Because I don't switch playbooks. I just
No, I
figure
don't
out.
switch play, but I stay with the playbook they got.
Yeah, I stay with it. So, my season is with the Cowboys.
Wait, you gave up on the PGA golf?
No. I played 2 tournaments earlier today.
Okay.
No. I'm like,
how's your guy doing right now?
I'm like, oh, dude, I'm winning like the dude. This is I think I'm on my 6th season in my career. So yeah, I've won the FedEx Cup like 4 seasons in a row. Going for number 5. So yeah, it's been a while too because I just mounted Paul a brand new. I got a 75-inch for my TV room. Like you saw the TV I had when you came. I upgraded to a 75-inch. And I mounted it on the wall. And yeah, that golf game looks amazing on that 75-inch, bro. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, this is the worst Bears team in Madden history. I'm pretty sure. Because defensively, I like to play a lot of zone. And that pass rush is non-existent, bro.
Man,
you know what time it is, Left.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story today brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. ONORAWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. So you saw me dancing there, man. And I'm dancing because I was inspired because Jerron Jones, former Notre Dame defensive tackle, he put up a video on his Twitter page and pretty much said that this is how they used to rock it in the locker room back in the day. Now, left before I play this, you know, I want to give you an opportunity to speak towards what we're about to play. I mean, do you have any comments?
I think just, man, before social media got too big, you had to talk to your teammates, man. And we had a really good locker room where, you know, we had to find time to have fun in the midst of all the stress. And I think we had great times in the locker room, man. One of the few memories you'll have, you know, for the rest of your life. I think it's just a rare time in life where you're in the locker room with that many guys your age, you know, focused on the same goal, y'all on the same mission. Is cool experience. So we made the most, and we were, I mean, comparatively now, I was in Notre Dame's locker room for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think the culture in the locker room was really healthy. You know, everybody pretty much got along. It, you know, it wasn't no clique-ish type of deal. You know, everybody kind of, it was real positive work environment.
Right.
Florida, you know, it's just a different space. It's still a team and all that, but it's guys are more clicked up, and you know, it's just it's a real, it's more of a public type of thing. I mean, you know, probably more common than what Notre Dame's locker room was. So I can appreciate what Notre Dame's locker room kind of did from a, it makes you realize the difference of a Notre Dame guy in the locker room, how they always talk about once they go to these professional teams, you know who the Notre Dame guys in the locker room are. You can tell that, especially the difference between that and Florida for me, where it was just kind of like, man, you it was just different. I've seen more in the Florida locker room than I have in the Notre Dame locker room. If that makes sense.
Well, here it is. This is how it used to be with Jerron Jones, Max Redfield, Malik ZAIRE in the Notre Dame locker room. Dude, that was great. I'm glad Jerron posted that, bro. Now, on the petty train, once again, oh boy, your boy James Franklin left. Got into it post game with the media, and he's still spicy, man.
You make it an 8-point game, you keep your team alive. Okay, you don't.
Man, James Franklin.
I hate this response that people be doing.
James Franklin.
Come on.
Man.
See, this is what I don't like. But it comes down to a perspective thing. People, no matter what happens, they'll perceive something that you may not even be saying to them, but that's how they taking it.
Man.
And they'll make it what they needed to make it because that's how defensive people do. We seen it from good old Dabo. We seen it from James Franklin, where they take it like a personal, I would take you behind back and beat you up because you said something I don't like. That's not how we was raised. You taking it as a defensive thing, they trying to ask a genuine question. And I think that happens when you know you're doing wrong. And you know they hitting spots that you don't have an answer for, that you want to answer honestly, in my opinion. Because the real answer would make you look like a goofy. And I think you felt played to where now you like, oh, well, they disrespected me and I don't take that lightly. It's like, no. They hit on something that that you didn't have no answer for. So it's just funny, man. People always want to take it where it don't need to be. Because, at the end of the day, we talking about a football question. This man ain't talking about your mama. He didn't disrespect your family. He didn't come at you and call you you know what I mean? For you to be saying it's challenging because I would handle it differently. What would you have done differently if this was on the street, James Franklin? If this is one of your friends, if this is one of your friends, if this is one of your friends, one of the fans that seen you around Penn State that just stopped you and say something. Well, what you gonna hit him? I don't understand. You dudes. Hey man, it's tough. I know it is tough to be at that level, but when you've been doing it that long and ain't been winning, people gonna ask you some tough questions. It's just what it is. Nick Saban handles it well. He may be a little more direct, but he giving answers. You talking about Nick Saban would never say, man, if I was in a different setting, I'd Draymond Green you. What do you mean? Nick Saban would never say that. He gonna respond to the question with an answer though. It may not, but he ain't gonna be talking about no fight words,
Last but not least, Carissa Thompson. See, this one people don't know how to handle podcasts and interviews, bro. And they think it's just a wild, wild west and I can say anything.
Man.
The fact that you...
And she wearing the suit. Man, you see her yesterday?
Nah, I didn't see her yesterday, bro.
Man, listen. I was upset because this is what they allow.
Yes.
They allowed that. And for her to downplay it like she do, it just, for me, it's a disrespect to the game.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's like, wow, you more concerned about your little job, little Aaron Andrews job than you are for the game. Because no, I don't believe no football player in that position is gonna do that and then say it openly. Like it's just fake it till you make, you know what I mean? Like that's just that's like a cardinal rule.
Mm-hmm.
And you just downplay it like it's just, man, this makes people have sexist comments on the internet.
I mean, yo, I don't, yeah.
This is why people be saying sexist stuff in the comments about,
Oh, yeah, I used to just, make up stuff on the sideline.
They're not going to be mad. They don't care. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What?
Highly disrespectful. So hopefully she gets a clue because that is, I don't know how you, but she gonna keep her job because they can't fire her. You know how that goes. That's what makes her so emboldened. Hell,
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Have a great day. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Left, you enjoy your weekend off, bro.
Man, I'm gonna try. If I can, shit.
Lucky Lefty podcast. We can talk to you. Just make sure you spin it different.